Alright, we are back with another off-season war. Today I will be taking in Mr. Negative, Tigra, and Jabari Panther. Not much was placed on the map, but I will be taking Path 5 in both sections. No, Path 4 in Section 1 and Path 5 in Section 2. I'm also looking at attempting a Mangog Boss. So here, nothing really special about taking Modoc on Path 4 with Jabari Panther. I was kind of hoping her cleanse would count as a purify, but what you're going to see from this video is that it does not, so we don't get a bonus fury from that situation. Also, there's not enough time between the start of the fight and swinging or attacking to actually get cleanse up to remove the heal block. So we're going to keep that debuff the entire fight, but you will see the fatigue debuff just disappear pretty much immediately. But as I said earlier, you won't see any fury buff. So here it's just paying attention to his shield, not overextending ourselves when he does an auto block so that we don't get dexed and then retaliated. And there I saw that the shield had fallen right at the same time of going into the hunt. So we got a bonus fury from that. And down he went. So she has a lot of attack. So this next one, Nova on Mixmaster, I wasn't really looking to take this fight, but someone had already attempted him and got him to half health, and I just got tired of waiting. So I figured after a few duels of dexing his SB1, let's go ahead and pay attention to our combo rotation so that we don't trigger evade, and let's not be overly aggressive with the heavy, and therefore have the heavy trigger the evade. So game plan here was medium light anytime we do a combo. That way anytime I try to retaliate anything, the medium is not going to trigger evade because the last hit was actually a light. And then be mindful of when I threw a heavy. So we can't heavy corner him against the wall here. We are mindful of when we retaliate either his heavy or his SP1 with a heavy, and with that in mind, start the next combo with a medium light instead. You'll also see that I'm also doing blocks or hits into his block. I'm also counting those combos as well, just because if I decide to do only mediums, back out, and then go do another medium, it will trigger evade. So we managed to get here and solo him, so was not actually that bad or that stressful of a fight. Moving on, the only fight on Path 5 was Immortal Abomination, and again here I'm going to use Jabari for her cleanse ability. I was thinking that as long as I was attacking, I'd be able to shrug every debuff he would throw at her, except for the Petrify from SP1. What I forgot to anticipate is that there are times hitting into his block where you can get a poison and a weakness debuff at the same time. So you are going to see a couple poisons. I did see a couple poisons. I didn't really have an issue with it. It didn't bring our health down super low. Actually, between the number of unique debuffs I had on me, there was a time where I did heal a little bit. So there's a poison that stuck because weakness protected it from getting cleansed. But really the only difficult part of this fight, I would have liked to have parried so that we could build more hunt charges by hitting him stunned. But I obviously knew it was a risk with poison. So in a perfect situation, you could hit or attack him for a couple hits, back off, and then prepare yourself for a parry and hope that that cleanse window stayed up long enough for a poison to get shrugged if he decided, or get cleansed if it ended up placing from the parry stun. Obviously that's really hard here on this node because of Mighty Charge. So all you're seeing me do is be aggressive into his block when he's below a bar of power, trying to do some backdraft intercepting. And here got a little too close to the wall for comfort. And obviously I'm dropping SB2 when it's convenient, not when protection is down or when I'm in the hunt. So far it's not a bad fight. I wouldn't say it's an ideal fight. You can probably take this in a stressful situation, and this is also unboosted, so about 2 minutes and we've got him at lower than 50% health, or right at. So not too bad of a fight. Obviously you would want a more ideal counter, but with bans coming up here, we're gonna have to start getting creative. I'm sure the most common champion used here for this particular fight would be Ghost, and she'd wreck it. But if Ghost is banned, which is a high possibility, then obviously you're gonna have to come up with other options. A strict poison immune would probably just do fine, like a CMM or Warlock. So we're halfway through the fight, a little more than halfway. He's at 33% health. We're doing perfectly fine with health, so we're winning the health bar battle. And I think this is where I take a little bit more health from poison. So we got another scenario where weakness and poison came up off of a blocked hit. Again, I'm trying to work in intercepts when I can. So right now we've got the Fury from intercept. And bye-bye, it went right as we threw that SB2. But he's down to 5%. It's almost over. Got plenty of time to take out the 3% that's remaining. And down he goes. So we just played it super careful. All right, so I actually brought Tigra for this Red Goblin. Thought it would be fun. He's pretty easy to use Tigra against. What I did forget when I joined with Tigra for this fight was that this node now has Conflictor. But I realized it when I looked at buff nodes, or node buffs, obviously. So, I mean, really my game plan here is not be insanely aggressive. If I place too many ruptures, plus I have Resonate spec'd because of Mr. Negative, it's usually spec'd for my masteries. But if I got too aggressive, there's a chance I could push him to SB2. And the Conflictor was giving him quite a bit of power. So there's a special too. Luckily, we were able to create miss, and we were very aware that we had a bar of power. So even if we did not heavy intercept him, we were going to have that safety net. His SB1 is super easy to come in after the tentacles and then charge heavy and make the grenade miss. So you could do that all day, which is pretty much all I'm doing. And like there, I was worried that SB1 was going to push him to SB2, and we ended up getting pushed to SB3. But as you saw there, not a big deal. Here I was hoping intercept. He went passive, and I let it go. So we saved the fight. Pretty clean fight. 2 fights that I brought Mr. Negative for. This Dormammu here on AoE, and that Mangog Boss. I wanted to see how tricky that would be with Mr. Negative. So here, I forgot to check Sig level, but what I found out during the fight was even without any debuffs placed on Dormammu, I'm going to out-heal his degen. So, usual game plan, parry heavy, build to 9 light energy after converting the 3 fury buffs to 9, and then evade counter. There I didn't dash back. I don't know what the heck I was trying to do. I think I was trying to maybe parry him and get a debuff up before converting. And then once I saw this heal overpower the degen, I just didn't care anymore. Ideally, APB here would have made this fight a lot faster. We would have gotten the SB2 super quick. All it means without it is that we actually get to build up more dark energy before dropping a big SB2 here with 17 dark energy. Could have pushed it a little bit more, but it's just better to just work with what you got. And here I'm aggressively attacking instead of going through my rotation again. Not really sure why. I guess I thought he was going to die. So here I am back to the usual game plan, parry heavy. We're at 8, we're going to convert. Parry heavy some more. And then right here, believe we're going to evade counter. Nope, decided to build some more light. Oh no, we're baiting out his SP1. The recording bar's in the way of the power gain. There we go, into SP2, and the combo of SP2 should knock him out, and down he goes. So, super safe fight with Mr. Negative. Alright, so you guys have seen me take Mojo on a boss node with Mr. Negative. My usual game plan is to parry, to build up light energy and dex sometimes, and right before I get to 10 light energy, drop SP1, and then hold on to that dark energy, push to SP2, drop it. And then there was some modified versions where I used an invulnerability boost, or decided to eat a heavy on the way to SP2 instead to get over 10 dark energy before I drop SP2. So I kind of had that in mind since we had invulnerability boosts in Overflow. What I forgot to anticipate or game plan for was that I'd actually want Mangog to throw SP2 in this fight instead of SP1. I don't want to be forced into throwing my specials when he wants to, and if he builds enough hatred and goes into rage or enraged, I don't want to have to throw a special to get rid of the unstoppable. So here, perfect scenario, we got to 8 dark energy. I was going to go ahead and take a heavy right before dropping SP2, and there went my invulnerability boost. Not really sure what happened. I ended a full combo with a light, which actually is a big no-no here. And I paid for it. So that plan was out the window. Now we're going to go with SP1 to SP2 without taking any heavy hits. So now we're building light energy for the second SP1. And there we're at 9 light energy. So now we're going to go ahead and drop SP1, giving us this big bulwark passive, which is taking away a lot of the block damage. And then boom, he went into enrage. So I figure, hey, we're just gonna stay against the wall here and dodge, and then boom, I got hit by a heavy I was not expecting. So between those 2 hits, I think it just ruined the fight for me. I probably would have been able to save it near the end, which you'll see. But obviously losing that much health from a heavy attack made things kind of tight. So plus I lost the rotation of dropping in SP2. It pushed me past 10 dark energy before I was at SP2, and I couldn't drop it, so bye-bye, that dark energy went. So here we are at 6 dark energy. We took what we had just so that we don't get too pinned against the wall. That was some great reduction of block damage between the light energy and the bulwark. So that's when it kind of clicked. Hey, I should be pushing him to SP2. Block bait heavies, push him to SP2. That was our second SP2. It is nice knowing that I'm not max boosted, and when you see where this fight finishes, I probably would have ended it or saved it max boosted. So that's rank 4 Mr. Negative would have knocked out the boss in 2 SP2s instead of requiring just a little bit, and there, boom. If there was any hope of me saving that fight, it ended with eating that SP2. So definitely an option if Spider-Man 2099 gets banned, or Void, or Human Torch, or Ghost. You know, if you can ban 4 attackers. But anyways, that was the off-season war. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will catch you guys at the next one.